Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Do you worry that nobody likes you? We'll provide you with friends. Kiflam. I'm the Honorable Chris Formage. Covet your neighbor's ass no longer. The Epsilon program seeks out the convenient bits from every faith to create a religion that is uniquely American. Expensive, promiscuous, and entirely meaningless. And unlike other major religions, we only tithe 8.75%. That means less for God and more for you. All you have to do is read and understand the Epsilon Tract, and the secrets of the universe will be open to you. Just call 1-866-FUN-CULT.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to a fresh, brand new episode of Third Shift. It is episode 367. Of course, I am one of your hosts, Mr. Eric. And of course, as per usual today, there is another individual here. He's been sipping on the water, having a great time, working from home because that's what he does on Thursdays. It's an exception to the rule. Maybe he'll tell you about it. Maybe he won't. I don't know. We'll find out momentarily because it's the inglorious bastard himself, Mr. Matt. He's here today with us. And before we talk about the gaming news and what's going on, we got to tell you a little bit about the week and what we've been up to. So without further ado, Mr. Matt, how's your week been, man?
It's been a good week this week, but it's been a strange week because it feels like it's been about 900 years since we did the show. Because last week, the reason we had to do a Wednesday show instead of a Thursday show is because Lansing Symphony Orchestra started up their shows again. Their Masterworks concert. I went and saw it. They had a guest pianist. Great show. Wonderful show. They had like the composer in residence who did a weird like spacey, like electronica themed thing that they did first. I really enjoyed it. Apparently all the old people in the audience absolutely hated it. The two old people I've heard from, we would you want to strangle that guy. What is this? But I will say he prefaced it, and nobody really cares about this explanation, but I'm going to say it anyway. He prefaced it as like, I was in New York listening to a lot of electronic music, and so, I kind of made this like that. And so you think of electronic music like, but instead it was like spacey electronic music, like, and then like every note was like just a hair off across all the sections, so it like reverberated through the hall. It was really cool. I really appreciated it. It was different. It was unique, and that kind of like slowly built with that kind of stuff. So it wasn't like electronic music. It was music that somebody made on a synthesizer. He set it up wrong, but I thought it was cool. The guest pianist was great, and then after the intermission, they did, if you listen to classical music at all, and you go like, cool, hype, classical music. It's one of those. It was great. It was fun. And then this week, the reason why I'm working from home today, which I wouldn't have mentioned, but Eric brought it up, so that's why, is because last night went to the Wharton Center again to see Mandy Gonzalez, who is a Broadway star from In the Heights, Hamilton. She's been Elphaba and Wicked. She and a little three-piece band did all kinds of stuff. She did Broadway tunes. She did like some jazzy stuff. She did covers of songs by other people that she kind of mixed into her own kind of way. Just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I absolutely loved every second of it. And it made me go, man, it hasn't been this long, literally, but it feels like it's been 100 years since I saw a live performance, like with singing and music and all that stuff. Because there's that summer lull. For some reason, Broadway type stuff and orchestra type stuff just goes away for like 2-3 months. And now it's back, and it went right into my veins. And I went, yes, this is one of those things that makes me really happy, that I really enjoy. So it was a great night. And I was just pumped and excited and having a great time. The only other thing I'm doing that's been giving me those kind of vibes is playing Starfield. And man, if you remember story time, I was having bad times. But you drag yourself out of the bad times. And you say, I'm not going to do those bad things that make me have bad times. Instead, I'm going to go on fantastic adventures all throughout the stars. I'm going to go from planet to planet and find a million quests and then start just chomping through them and meeting all these characters and learning their whole life story and how they interact with this character over here and how that character leads you to this other guy. And now you're in the slums over here and you're meeting this lady who's teaching you how to get to this guy. And I hit the District of Neon, which we've talked about and I'm not all the way through it yet. Whoever said Neon is better than Night City is a chump and a buster, as we know, but I will say the quests in that have been great, have been awesome, just a ton of fun. Maybe some of it is just talk to this guy and he wants you to go talk to that guy. But when you go talk to the other guy, like all of my traits have been popping up. Like I picked Neon Street Rat as my background, so you a kid who from the slums. So almost every single person I talk to in Neon, I can use that and have unique dialogue with them. And they go, oh, so you know exactly what we're talking about. And you have this whole little different spin on it, other than just, that's a bad guy, I'm going to go get him and deal with him. But even outside of that, like all my negotiations, my commerce options, all my little personality traits, they're all popping off. So every time I go to a place, I'm like, okay, I'm prepared to go in and persuade this guy with my persuade option. And, it's persuade, attack, ask for more details. Well, ask for more details before I get the finishing thing. Oh, because I asked for details, now Neon Street Rat pops. And also commerce popped. And negotiation popped. So now I have 5 ways of dealing with this guy. And it just feels great. And it feels awesome. And I told Shay this at the bonfire and James, because we did have a bonfire with our buddies over the weekend too. That was another fun thing we did. But there's a quest. You meet a guy on Mars. He has some kind of like medical issue. He's on disability, but he loves books and he loves movies and stuff. And he goes, man, I love this really cheesy sci-fi book series. Can you track down first editions for me? I know where they all are. Can you go get them? Sure. It's an easy fetch quest. You go and usually talk to a vendor and you buy the book and it's done. But every single time, he sends me to a brand new place. There's planets I had no other reason to be on, other than to take this quest and go talk to this one vendor. And there's a whole little society here. Like there's one you go to Titan, or I think it's Titan or Triton, whichever one, the moon of Saturn. Oh, that's where like humanity's first colony was. And here you can visit all of it. There's like a museum. You can take a tour, like a walking tour. A guide walks you around the whole settlement and has comments and conversations about every single thing. You meet a doctor, and all through, as you're talking to everybody, side comments from people you're passing. Oh man, the doctor really hates tourists. Don't go see her if you're in trouble. Gotta go talk to the doctor now. Hey, why do you hate tourists? It's because you're all stupid, and you're all trying to jump around and you hurt yourselves, and now I can't deal with my proper patients. Fair. But I got a plan. Oh, okay. How can I help you with your plan? Well, I figured I'd start a rumor about there being these weird monsters on Titan or Triton or whichever one it is. And what I figured I'd do, though, is I need you to wear this monster costume and chase all the tourists away. This is the kind of silly, ridiculous, goofy stuff I love in games like this. So I put on this flobbledy-wobbledy, like, tardigrade costume. It's like, she says it's like the mascot of a sports team from her ex's, high school or whatever. Put on this goofy thing. I'm running out on the surface of the moon. Our tourists are all running and jumping away. And then if I take it off and talk to them, they go, oh, get out of my way. I'm getting chased by a monster. It's wonderful. Like, it looks like... If anybody's played the new Saints Row game, you get a lot of like mascot costumes, and they're all floppledy-wobbly on the top. That's what this is. Running around as this weird-ass tardigrade. Wonderful. And I wouldn't have found this place at all if it wasn't to come buy that one book for that one dude. And there have been like 2 or 3 other places just like that. It's so much fun. And I'm hitting big quests like the Mantis side quest. Really good atmosphere, really good story. The first encounter you have with a Terrormorph, really cool, really good, really well-themed and scary. It's just been going great. When I don't load myself up with too much ore and can't find a way to do it, it's great. So no more picking up ore, just looting bodies, and then I have 2,000 kilograms of guns and spacesuits, but I know what to do with them. I just take 3 days to sell them all, and then I'm back in business, and it's feeling great. It's feeling right. What about you, Eric? How's your week been going?
Well, boy howdy, you already said it. On Saturday we had a little hung out, talked around a fire for a little bit, great time. Then beyond that, what did I do? Monday is my day off, naturally. Didn't do too much, but what I did do was I was like, you know what? I don't know the town I live in still. I don't really do much here. I just live. So I went walking down the main strip, walked into a few of the shops and stores, and one of them happened to be the Side Street Deli. And oh my goodness, One side's a coffee cafe and sweets thing. They make all their own like sweets and stuff. And they've got all sorts of goodies in there, from cheesecakes and baklava and all sorts of eclairs and tarts and scones and all that stuff. And I'm like, that all looks delicious. Then you turn around and it's the side street deli portion. And they've got all boar's head meats in there.
Nice.
And they've got like 40 different, unique sandwiches that they make. And then right here, they've got just like, all the nice little cool markets do, where you got the potato salads, mac salads, tzatziki salads, this and that, baked beans. They've got all these homemade sides all sitting there ready to go for your fruit salads and stuff like that. And then you can order any of those sandwiches you want. You can order by the pound any of the boar's head meats. Same with the sides, or you can get sides with sandwiches that you order. Man, oh man. I didn't go crazy, so I just got, I was like, I'll just get one sandwich, see what it's all about. So I got their version of an Italian. Whoo, man, that sandwich was top tier, delicious. And then I just went, oh God, I got to try all the sandwiches. All these sandwiches, I got to try them all. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe every Monday I take a little hop on over and try a different sandwich. That's what I should do. Just get until they're all used up and I've tried them all. That way I can tell you which sandwich is the best.
Man, maybe I got to move out to Charlotte now, because that. Even you just talking about like the potato salads and mac salads. I mean, you saw it. I'm like falling out of my chair, drooling, because that sounds so good.
Oh, they look so good too. I almost went ahead and bought some, but I knew I'd have to eat it myself, because most of the rest of the folks in the family, they don't eat potato salads, mac salads, or any kind of stuff. I'm like, I can't just eat a whole bunch of this crap. So maybe next time I'll just try to get like a quarter pound worth or something, see if I can get just a portion and give it a shot, see what it's all about, along with the old sandwich. But it was neat. It was fun, just to go see a couple shops that I normally wouldn't go to, because I don't do anything in this town, really, to be honest. So that was fun. On the gaming side, I did some more Baldur's Gate 3. As I've told Matt already, I went ahead, I left that goblin camp I've talked to you all about before. I said, you know what, we got to get out of here for now, see if we can do some other stuff. So I went back to this earlier area where they said I would find the vampire dude that's supposed to join my team. He's not there. So I'm thinking I missed him. I'm thinking I don't get him now, unless he shows up later, because I do hear some characters will come back later and you kind of get another shot or whatever. So maybe that'll happen. Anyways, he wasn't there, but the temple sure was. Well, I guess I'll go in this temple. So I just lockpicked the front gates of this thing where, I was successful. Got in there, and for hours, Matt, just explored this temple. I found all sorts of cool secrets and backways. I ended up all lost because I came upon a door that I thought was something I should be able to do, but come to find out, I had done it all weird and wacky and not the regular way. Obviously, and as you all know, Baldur's Gate, and anyways, legitimate. It's just a matter of what you find. But, the base way I didn't take. So this door was actually immovable, because it only opens from the one side to get to this back end. Then I had this whole thing I did it all backwards. So I come into this room and there's these looters, and they immediately attack me. There's no option, no nothing, because they're like, what the hell? Where'd you come from? And then it was just boom, right to battle. Naturally, I had to kill them. Then I come up and around. I get another group of those yahoos. Then I come up and out this back entrance. And then I come up upon a leader talking to another one and whatever. And usually you get time to talk and get your way out of things. But he turned to me and was like, what are you doing inside? Where's blah, 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 blah? You killed him, didn't you? Get him, boys. So, no options, no way to talk your way out of it. But, of course, later on, find out there are ways to talk your way out of it if you'd have done it the other way. But, of course, since I didn't have a choice and I had to kill his friends because they just right on attacked me, all that changed how everything went down. Don't matter to me. It was fine. It was fun. It was natural. It felt great. And they're a bunch of, skivvy old loot and thievers and fools anyway. I don't care if they're dead. So I had fun with that. Had a great combat. It was challenging, but it was doable. Because like I told you, in the place I'm in currently, like everything's overwhelming. Anytime you make a mistake, it's like you're overwhelmingly being murdered. And it was just nice to get back into this groove. Like, oh, I can play this game. It is normal in some spots, and this is a manageable battle as long as I'm paying attention and putting people where they should be going. So I had fun with that. And then I just wandered off into the woods. And now I'm in the middle of just nowhere, just meandering about, finding stuff, talking to people and creatures as I come across them, and I'm like, you know what, I'll get back to that camp again. But I'll do it after I've leveled up a bit, had a bit of fun, checked some cool stuff out, just enjoy the game again, so that way I don't get angry and burn out at that spot that's really causing me a bunch of trouble. And lastly on it, I'll tell you, it's crazy, and I don't think I can do it. But there's a lot of guides. They're like, what's it matter? Just go kill the Grove people and move on. Because that's like I told you, there's a way out of this. I can just go let them kill the Grove people, and story moves on. It's fine. You don't get, there's a character you won't get, and another one that leaves your party or whatever, but that's it. Story moves on. You'll keep playing, having a great time. So just go do that. Why are you stressing? It's like, well, I don't want to do that. That's bad. I'm not a bad person. I don't want to do bad things like that. Plus, I've already committed this much time to it, so I'm like, no way. We'll get back to it. But having a good time with it. And in the meantime, a little bit of Sea of Stars. Not too much this week because of another game. But I do intend to go ahead and probably smash the rest of that out. I've got to be about halfway through. So I imagine another 9-10 hours, and this game's probably going to be under the belt. And I want to get that done with before, too many more games come out. The other one, Matt, Eternights. All right, it came out. It's like, I got to get this. I hear too many good words, too many good records, reports on this sucker. Purchased it. So glad I did. It's kind of like my, if I'm not in the mood to game, but I want to get on gaming and not do that, I get on there. And I just go into this little mode. It's super simple. You get on this train, and it's got that Persona thing. What do you want to do? You want to go to the walls, which is the dungeons, or do you want to interact with one of your party members for the day? Go, talk, do something, have an activity. You pick. You only have so many days to get that wall complete, that dungeon complete, so you have to make sure you're, doing what you should do. Well, you know what you do. You go into the walls, and you pound that out as hard as you can and get as far as humanly possible the first day, and then you do the same the next day. And then, of course, hopefully by the third, well, in Persona, we were so good, you know what I mean? We did it the first day, but this game's a little bit harder in that way, at least for me. So, but by the third day or so, you get done, and then you got like 5-6 days where you're just like, okay, yeah, I'll hang out with you, hang out with you, hang out with you, hang out with you. And then you get a nighttime sequence where you can do like a mild activity, just like Persona once again, basically, instead of a large activity, which you can get like minor upgrades to your expression or this or that, or you can go scavenge things and make the other characters like you just a little bit more, that sort of stuff. And it's just so easy, but hard, but fun. It just scratches that itch of something to do that's not stressful. And it's just been such a good time. I just got to the point where I got 2 new characters because I was starting to wonder. I'm like, they gave me the 2 characters in the beginning, and then we did this entire dungeon, this entire scenario, which I know this game isn't that long, and it's been hours and hours of gameplay. I'm like, well, I'm supposed to pick one of these people, for your love interest and friendship, relationship at some point, but I've only got one to pick from. And it's already been 4 hours of this game. Finally, just the other day, boom, boom, 2 more just came into the group, and there's only 1 more after that. So I was like, okay, here we go. Now they're all here. Just got to the point where we're all actively in the party, and I can pick who's going to be on the team and do what. So I can't wait to jump back in. And of course, unfortunately, one of them, his name is Min. So I'm like, well, has to be Min. I mean, Min's one of my, game names, so I'll choose later. I'm just kidding mostly, but the name did make me go, oh, hopefully she's cool. That'd be cool. But who knows? We'll see. Having a good time with it. If you want to pick up something that's got that Persona vibe, it's definitely a game I would recommend. And that's been my week, folks, for the most part. But of course, Matt, what have you been doing? Have you been checking out something new? What are you up to?
I am, but I'm distressed about it.
Oh, no.
I'm sad because I thought to myself, I was on YouTube today and looking at something, and I thought, hey, when does Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remaster come out? And I Googled it, and it said, buy it now. It's available as of the 14th, so it's been out for a week. Developed originally by Monolith Soft, but now by Logical Beat Corporation Limited, published by Bandai Namco. This is the remaster of the 2 card-based GameCube JRPGs that almost nobody played. But it's out now for the Switch only. And I'm distressed because there's already too many games out. There's a game that's sucking my soul away and all my time away. But I do want to get into this because of 2 different reasons. One, I've heard these were good games from the original anyway. So I always did want to play them. Never had a chance to. That card-based mechanic, though. This is one of those games where cards are everything. And it's not like a card game, but cards represent every single thing you have. And in battle, like when it's your turn, you kind of queue up actions, or like your character will attack, and then you can follow up with certain cards to get a combo going. And the same thing when the enemies attack. You can play defensive cards to kind of combo up and mitigate their attacks a little bit. But then I'm hearing from other reviewers, and there's only a couple out there, that cards are so much everything that like you have to buy blank cards, because when you have a side quest to go and get like 10 foxtails from the foxtail forest or whatever, you have to have blank cards so that foxtails can get written on that card, so it can actually be an item that you can take away. And you can, like, in one of the games, you can take a picture of enemies to analyze them or something, so you have to have blank cards to do that. But when you take the picture, it becomes a piece of film on this card, and you gotta wait for it to develop. It's so weird and so strange. I have to play it just for the unique aspect of it. And the other cool thing about it, and I haven't dove deep into the stories or anything. I know the second game is a prequel to the first game, so you do see some character crossover and stuff like that, but I think it's like 20 years beforehand, so not too much. But the other cool thing is, in both games, you, the player, you play the guardian spirit of the main character. So that character actually talks to you, and you respond to that character. And like your personalities, how well they mesh or don't, affects the gameplay, like in a literal sense. So that's unique and cool and interesting. And I'm just dismayed that, A, it's already out, and there's already too much going on. But these are two games I can't miss, because I missed them before. And now, just purely for the mechanical reasons, I can't not get them. So if you're in the same boat and want to play some really unique JRPGs with fun stories and really unique mechanics and all kinds of craziness going on, and if you missed them the first time, Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remaster is available now for the Switch. Surprise! I bet you didn't know either, listener, because I sure didn't, and I'm the one, I wrote it down. The sheet is still here that has the name on it from when I first wrote it down and went, I gotta follow that game. The surprise, here it is.
That's why you should have done what I did. You put that list, you make a list with all the dates, and you put it in your pocket. And every day, I pull it out and I go, is today the day for any of those dates? And I look and I go, not today. Okay, whoosh. Ooh, I'm safe. I don't got to worry about it.
Now, in my defense, every time I have looked, because like I said, it's right here under my monitor, it goes, coming in the fall. And then apparently from like the last 3 weeks that I last looked at it or whenever it was, they went, hey, surprise, it's going to come out in like a week, and a surprise, here it is, boom.
There you go. Fall's now. It's close enough, right?
Yeah.
So I forgot one thing before I do my thing, and I won't talk long on it. I'll just say it briefly. Star Ocean demo came out. Go play it. If you like RPGs, go play it. There's nothing else that needs to be said. It's fantastic. It's gorgeous. It's wonderful. The music's great. Everything they redid was freaking fantastic. That's a day one buy, hands down. Go check it out. It'll speak for itself. All right? That's the other thing I did this week, folks. That's what I did, and I tried to convince everybody at the little bonfire about it too, but nobody seemed very interested. So I digress.
I'm definitely going to buy it, but I'm not going to play the demo because I'm already sold. You know how I am.
Well, it's the beginning, and it carries over into the game.
I can't do it. I gotta just have it, like when it shows up and I put it in. I can't do it.
Yeah, it literally lets you play the first 3 hours of the game.
I mean, just that's like all the demos recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then when the 3 hour marker comes, it goes, hey, we saved your game. I'm glad you got to look at the game. Go buy it, and then you'll just start from the spot where we threw you off at. Bye-bye. So it's like, okay, fine, cool. Now I'm excited. Can't wait to play. Any of the who's. The other game I played and my game released this week is Lies of P, everybody. Now, this is a fun story because I was doing what I always do on the weekend. I was sitting here playing probably Etern Nights. In fact, I'm sure it was Etern Nights. And I was just do, and I had a stream up on one of my monitors, which I always do. So that way, with my ADHD, whatever it is, these kids call and say they got the problems with themselves. I can look over and go, this looks great. And now, what was weird was, as I mostly do, I don't pay attention to the stream. I'm mostly just playing my game. That's what I'm doing. But I hear the voice, because I have it on an actual speaker and then the headset on for the video game, go, Mahaga. And I went, what? Who the hell said Mahaga? What the hell's going on? The game's not talking about me right now. So I start looking around. Mahaga. Where's Mahaga at? Where's he at? And I look. I go, what's going on? Oh, what's this? Oh, my God. I just won something. Holy crap. hey, man, Mahaga's here. This is him. Woo, woo, what's going on? You just won Lies of P. Whoa, yay. I win. Yay for me.
I'm just cracking up because I know exactly. I haven't experienced it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. It'd be like if I was sitting here with my open back headphones on and someone in the room said, "Hey, Doc Funky." That's not a word I hear in real life.
Yeah.
That comes
Ever.
through my headphones.
Only this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what's happening right now? But I have ghosts, so I'm like, am I losing it? Is this finally the day? this is it right here? This is the end time? Okay. Well, I was playing a cool video game. I guess it's okay, right? And then I'm on the high. So I win this game, right? Sends me the stuff to grab it up, all this. Now, of course, he couldn't send me the game because it wasn't actually out yet, unless you bought the deluxe edition or whatever. So I bought it, got a hold of it. He sent me the bucks or whatever to do it. Awesome. Great. I went ahead and, of course, thanked him, did all the cool stuff for that. He's a great person. His stream is one of the streams I have up quite often. So regardless of if I'm paying close attention, hey, I'm giving him the look he sees. So it's all good. Anywho's, great. Got it. Downside of it was, of course, I go, Matt, you won't believe this. I won one of Lies of P, and he didn't respond at all. So I was like, Matt, don't care. Then I saw him at the fire, and he goes, yeah, but it's on Game Pass for free, bro. I went, what? You sure? Is it? I didn't hear about it coming. To my defense, this isn't one that has been announced for a long time. This was a magic get that Xbox just threw in. I didn't hear about it. And then the evil side of me was like, I could have totally just taken the money he gave me for Lies of P and bought a different damn game if I could have played it on Game Pass for free. Now it was too late. I already bought it. I already have it for the PlayStation now. And then I went, Eric, this gentleman gave you the money to get this game because he was playing it, thought it was great, and wanted to give somebody else a game. You did what you're supposed to do. But I'm like, but I already paid for Game Pass, which already has the damn game.
I shouldn't have said anything. And I felt bad anyway, because it was just like my immediate reaction. You went, hey, I want it. And I went, hey, it's free anyway. And it was like no thought. And I saw you were like, oh. And I went, So
but it's cool, bro.
I'm sorry, dude. I mean, it is cool. It's always cool to win a thing off a stream. I've done it a couple times. It's awesome. But I'm sorry, I ruined everything. I'm sorry.
It's all right because it is like you said. Getting to play on a PlayStation, I'll get my trophies, and it's in my collection here on this system. Plus, on the plus side, it allows my brother to play it because we're synced with our accounts and whatnot. So a double whammy of good news for folks, and that's great. Now, the game of the week, of course, is Lies of P. Like I said, it is developed by NeoWiz Games Round 8 Studio. It's a Korean game, if I'm not mistaken, and of course they openly said they wanted to make a cool Souls-like game with their own take, their own spin, and all that good jazz. You get to play the role of Pinocchio. You're a puppet. You're awakened by this mysterious woman, Sophia, I think her name is. She tells you that everything's gone to hell. They need your help. Got to get you to Geppetto. Well, guess what? Geppetto's the one who made you. Yes, we all know the folktale or Disney story, whichever one you want to go with. So you got to get to Geppetto, see what the heck's going on. To do that, you got to get through this town and go to like the Kratz Hotel, I think it is, or whatever. She gives you a little lantern with a little cricket named Gemini in it. Anywho's, you get that and off you go. You end up at a table. They say, hey, pick a weapon. Well, you end up picking a class. Do you want to be like nimble, balanced? Do you want to be strength? Let me give you a tip. From what I'm hearing from everybody, go strength. You'll pretty much have a much easier time and be able to beat the game. Side tangent. But not side tangent. There you go. As you're playing this game, it's just like a Souls-like. You're going to be a third person going out. There's going to be enemies coming at you. And then you got to learn to parry, dodge, do all the usual stuff. You all know how to play these games. I don't have to explain it to you. But the world you're in has got that super gothic look to it. Think Bloodborne, but more browns instead of like blacks and weird colors. It's real brown in this game so far. Might be a lot of other environments, but I don't know much beyond, the town I'm currently in because I only played for like 40 minutes. I ended up getting through the main little open area, got to my first like little mini boss, and whew, man, I thought I was good. I was like, oh, I'm rocking and rolling, dude. I was beating the normal baddies, not having too much of a problem. And then this game treats it whenever you parry, you will take damage, but if you do perfect parries, you don't take damage, you just do the little stagger thing. So I'm trying to get to the point where I just dodge. And that's basically what I did in Elden Ring too. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to parry. I'm just going to dodge. But holy cow, man. You get to this little dude, this little mini boss guy, and it's like a whole different game. you better dodge, but you also better be ready to parry. Because there'll be times where you'll dodge, but they'll anticipate, and they'll be following it up with another move, and you can't just dodge. So I learned real quick that you got to learn both, and you got to be able to utilize both. So right then and there, I went, okay, dang it. It's not going to be just like an easy Souls-like game. It's going to be a normal Souls-like game.
Yeah, right before we got on here, I was actually watching the Iron Pineapple review of Liza P, and he was talking about all that stuff you were talking about with the parries and the perfect parries, and you can block and you can recover your damage, but if you perfect parry, then like you said, it helps to stagger the enemy and it helps get your health back and all this stuff. And then he was talking about how, hey, actually for a Souls veteran like myself who plays all the Souls games, this was still really hard. And I went, God, but it looks so good.
It does.
It looks, and and he's a pretty good player. So watching his stuff, I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. That looks like fun and not easy because he was still getting hit a lot. But I'm like, this looks doable. Don't do it. I can't do it. It's free, but I can't do it. It's too much.
And like I said, they trick you because in the very first area, all the baddies I've encountered were very doable. And then to boot, they immediately showcase how weird and dark and strange this game is. So in a nutshell, the puppets who were used basically as slaves do menial tasks for people. Geppetto is one of the main individuals who helped make all the puppets, including Pinocchio. They go crazy. They go against the humans. But the game, like I said, right in the word go, shows you. There's just rotting corpses all over the place. You can just tell that madness broke out. Carriages are just wrecked. Puppets are dead here. Humans are dead here. Immediately, you're like in it. And you're just like, holy crap, this place is jacked. Something terrible happened. I don't know the story yet, but it's kind of, coming together slowly but surely. It's really cool. Like you said, it's really cool. It's very intriguing. The backdrops and just the whole world I'm in, I'm all about it, and I want to play. But, of course, hitting that stump with an actual first individual that's learn his patterns, figure this out. Remember, parry here, dodge here. I'm like, all right, Eric, this is just like the mini boss of the first area. Are you ready for this? Can you do this? I'm kind of scared. But if you're not scared and you like Souls-like games and you want a challenge and you want a game that has a lot of really cool options and gizmos and gadgets because Pinocchio has a mechanical arm that you can, get flamethrowers on, you can get grappling hook. That stuff's freaking cool, man.
And if you want a cool weapon crafting system,
oh yeah,
where, the blade of the weapon and the hilt of the weapon apply different things, and then you can mix and match, so you have this big hammer that actually has the moveset of a dagger, but it is still a little bit slower. But then, because Iron Pineapple went into that too. He went, I found this really cool boss weapon, but I didn't like this weird special ability. So he just took the blade off and put the handle, the thing he liked on, and then it was just a whole brand new thing with whole brand new weapon arts. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton of those, and you can do that with pretty much any weapon in the game. So the variety and the customization that's given to you is insane and sounds like a whole hell lot of fun. You just got to be willing to do the usual Souls-like stuff. So if you're looking for that and you want it, it's out there. Everyone, you don't even got to trust me. You can go look at all the reviews out there. They're all glowing. Everybody's loving it. And I'm telling you right now, from what I've played, it's awesome. But you got to be ready for a hard time. So just be aware of that before you go get it and you get upset because you can't play it.
And speaking of a hard time, your boys right here at Third Shift have got a hard time because there were 17 different showcases and states of plays and Nintendo Directs since the last time we did an episode, which we had to do it early, so we missed out on 2, and then there's been 2 since, possibly 3, maybe 4, maybe 8, maybe 20, so we're gonna have to get into H.G. Wells' time machine and go all the way back to Thursday of last week. And Eric and I have had this discussion off air how it feels like we already talked about this because we talked about it offline a little bit. But we're going to go all the way back to Nintendo Direct time. And there's too many things. Even just out of the Nintendo Direct of my maybe stuff, I have a million things. So we got to pick up some high-level stuff. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remaster or Remake or whatever it technically is. Remakester. I don't know what it is. But this is another game on the GameCube I should have played. And I never did. So now I have the chance to play it. So when it popped in, I went, sweet, awesome. I never had a chance to play this because the only time I played a Paper Mario was the original N64 one. It was on one of those hotel TVs where you could pay $10 for an hour. And I played 20 minutes of it and I went, this is pretty cool. Never had a chance to play it. Thousand Year Door came out. Hey, that looks pretty cool. I should get it. Never had a chance to play it. Now everybody has a chance to play it. All shined up and prettied up, and it's one of the internet's most favorite games ever. So here it is. I was excited to see it, even though I don't have any first-hand knowledge. Boom.
Well, it was one of my top of the list of Nintendo 2 there, Mr. Matt. And this is a funny one because I did play Paper Mario for the N64. Played it all the way through. Loved the holy hell out of it. One of my favorite games. I had a GameCube. And I can't imagine I didn't play Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. But I don't have any recollection of this game. So I must not have played it. But I can't imagine I didn't. So for me, this is a great one. Because I'm going to get it and I'm going to play it. And maybe as I'm playing it, all these memories are just going to come back to me. And I'm going to go, oh my God, I actually did. I remember doing this with da-da-da. And I'm going to just relive my history all anew. And it's going to be like I had Alzheimer's disease or something. It's going to come back to me. And it's going to be, I'll get a little lick of what the future holds, when we start losing our memories for real and whatnot. So yes, that's a for sure buy-in. No questions about it. I'm glad to see them, bring it up here and get everybody all hyped with it. And, especially because it was the closer. So, boom, just like that. Everyone's stoked. Everyone's hyped. Nintendo Direct definitely did it right.
And I'll jump to another series I never had a chance to play, but everybody loved it. The Mario vs. Donkey Kong games. The kind of puzzle variation where you usually send out the little mini robots and they'd activate switches kind of lemming style. Now, obviously, in what they showed, Donkey Kong has stolen the minis, so it's just Mario to start with, and then I'm sure the minis are going to come in later and the puzzles will get more complex and all that stuff. But I was excited to see that in an accessible format, coming to just download it to your Switch and play it, when all the other ones have completely missed out on. And they were all great, apparently. So that's another one. There were so many good things on here, but that was another one where I just went, yeah, and that was right up by the front, too. I think that was the starter one, wasn't it? They started with that and ended with Paper Mario.
It was pretty close, or was the first one. I can't remember, but it was right.
It was Splatoon that started, but I think this was
Splatoon,
next.
Yeah. But Splatoon's always weird. We'll get on it another day. Just their demos or their previews for those games are super strange to me. I don't get it. But anywho's, where do I go next? Let's go with the last update for Mario Kart's coming. The Daisy Circuit, Diddy Kong, and a couple others. I only mentioned Diddy Kong because that's one I care about. I love Diddy Kong Racing. I love Diddy Kong. I know he was previously in another Mario Kart, but he's coming back here for the very last update for Mario Kart on the Switch, and I'm stoked about that. You know why? Because I haven't bought any of the DLCs up to this point. Because I kept saying, I'll wait till it's done, and I'll just buy whatever hey, here's all the packs for this price. I'll buy that one. I don't want to piecemeal this all together, play them 2-3 times, never touch it again. I want to get back in it hardcore when I originally played, play them all, have a blast for a week or two, and of course let it retire into the background. So it was great to see it. The last update is finally here, which of course also tells you that we get the new Switch next year. Can't wait. It was like a double whammy of news but not news. New Switch next year, everybody. This is it. It's the death knell. And the other death knell you hear, which isn't a game, but I want to say it anyway, the Wario game. Whenever Wario comes, the end of that line of Nintendo is it. Wario is the death knell of whatever console there is at that moment. So definitely new Switch next year. Great.
I don't think that's right.
That's right. That's right. Wario is the death. He comes, and that's it. The console's over.
But you mentioned Wario, so I'll give a shout out to another WarioWare game coming down the pipe, because there was the one that came out just last year, maybe, that I was excited about, never had a chance to get. Hey, it's another WarioWare game. It takes me back to those days of staying up way too late on the GBA and the DS playing those. So that looks fun. And another game, I don't know if I'll play it, but Princess Peach Showtime. A Princess Peach game where she's putting on different costumes and getting different abilities, and it's all themed around a theater and a stage, and I want to know how that works. And I should have gone back to watch that trailer in detail, but I just kind of scrawled the name down because I had the same thoughts when I first watched it. It's cool. I don't know if it's going to be for me, but there's unique things and unique ways of doing stuff. And I'm all about the theater. How does that get integrated in the overall story and aspects of it? Can you do stuff with the crowd? Yes, no, who knows? But I'm going to be watching it.
Probably not one for me, but I did think the girls might love that. Getting to play Princess Peach and having a lot of fun with that. So it'll be on my watch list. But for me, two quickers here is Prince of Persia, Matt, The Lost Crown. That game, we've already talked about it before, it looks fantastic. They showcased another little snippet of it here, coming out January 18th. What can I say, man? It looks gorgeous. It looks like it plays fantastic. The music's popping. Everything so far is looking great. I'm sold. It's one of those games I'm like, I'm sold. This is, as long as it's not crazy expensive. Well, if you give me enough levels or if someone tells me there's a whole bunch to it, sure. That's all in the future. I can only go off what the preview was, and it was fantastic. And the Contra Operation Galaga, who knows, man? That word was weird.
I think Galaga was closest, yeah.
I'm not sure why they have that weird name, but it just looks like a rehash of Contra. And that looks fantastic. I played Contra growing up for years. Many iterations of them, from the original, hardcore, even some of the crappier ones that some people don't like. I've played all those. It was just that co-op game you played with your buds and played with your brother, and it's just what you did. You wasted time with it. Regardless of how many times you beat it, how many times you cheat coded it and just went through because you had to kill time and went through. It's a part of my history. It's a part of my original gaming core memories. So when you bring it back here and you say, hey, yeah, we're going to make it look cool, make it look, nice and neat and pretty, I'm like, yeah, I'm about it. I'll give it a go. So I was happy to see it.
I'm kind of hit or miss on that one. Like you said, generally, I love Contra. It's a series that I love, but something about maybe it was the graphics or the animation style wasn't clicking with me. But since we're in snippet zone, I'll give you a handful of snippets, because there's 2 League of Legends games they showed off here, Vandal Tales and Song of Nunu, and I really only mentioned them just because I appreciate that so far, like, all the League of Legends games have been totally different. And obviously centering on different areas and different characters and different storylines and all that stuff, which is to be expected. But I'm glad they're not just turn-based RPGs or top-down action RPGs or side-scrolling beat-em-ups or whatever. Because I think Vandal Tale, it kind of has an isometric perspective and you're using like knitting powers to heal the world. Song of Nunu looks like more kid-friendly, like action platforming type of stuff. So I'm excited for that because I love League of Legends. I love all the characters and the story and the lore of it. So to be able to explore it from all these different aspects, even in gameplay, really cool. Really like that. And Eiyuden Chronicle. It finally has a release date. I backed this game ages upon ages ago. I've mentioned it before on the show when Eric was playing the prequel game or the little starter side-on platformer type game. So to see it, it got me excited because I went, hey, this looks like what it should be, and it looked like what it should be, and they said Eiyuden Chronicle, 100 Heroes, and I went, yes. And then the very next day I got an email, hey, confirm your Kickstarter backer platform for your physical edition, and I went, yes. It's actually becoming real. Awesome. But then, side tangent for me, where the hell is Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster? It made me ask that question, because it put me in the mood for some Suikoden, and that should be in my hands right now, or at least like in October or November when all the other games come out. But I haven't heard anything about it. So this got me excited, but hey, where's that? Anyway, back to you, Eric.
It's delayed to next year, Matt.
No.
Take it in next year.
No.
Sorry.
No.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Gosh bless it. So off of the old snippets, I've got 2 more main games here, all right? And I want to end it with one. So I'm going to talk about Super Mario RPG, coming November 17th. And not to say that this game isn't amazing and fantastic, but we've already seen a preview of this. We've already talked about this one. They showcased it once again to get people even more hyped about it, and it did the job. I'm beyond stoked about this game. It's such a beautiful, wonderful RPG. So different, so unique, so much fun. There's nothing else to say about it. It's just great. And the fact that they're going to redo it, make it prettier, I can't wait to play this game.
I was already 100% sold, but then this little reveal took me on a little roller coaster. Because they went, oh, actually, if you hit your timing attacks, you do damage to everybody. And I went, well, what? And oh, you can build up to like some giant triad attack. And I went, that's cool, but that's like way too easy. You're just going to have a little win button for your fight. But then they said, hey, after you beat some bosses, you can go back and visit them again and fight them, and they'll be really hard. And they even showed, they didn't show him, but they showed the dialogue box for Jinx. And I went, yep, okay, you sold me. I'm a die-harder on this game. This is right up my alley type of stuff, so yes.
Yeah, I heard and seen all that as well, and I went, cool, because this gives you options. If you just want to run through the game and have a great time, now you've got more attacks, more power at your disposal. But if you want the challenge, just like Matt said, you can go back and do it with the bonus challenges. It's a freaking win, man. So very stoked. Great on your Nintendo Direct. There's only one other game for me, so what you got, man?
That was it for my Nintendo Direct.
Oh, okay, because I'm shocked then. Unicorn Overlord. Oh, my God. For me, this is God-tier games at this point. These are the people that have made some, you make 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, and
that's fair, yeah.
Wow, you got me. I'm sold. I'll play any of your games. And I've played their previous games too, don't get me wrong, but they didn't sell me as much as that game did. But now that they've gotten there, I'm on board. I'm a diehard now. We're going a little ride or die, you know what I'm saying?
And I'll give you that. I think I was just a little bit, not burned, but that demo of, what was it, Odin Sphere that we both tried, and we both kind of went, I don't know about this. But Unicorn Overlord does look like more my type of speed, like some actual, not perfectly units on a grid, because there's a little bit of like real time looking, but building up your base and farming out stuff, and it showed them attacking a tower and the units were fighting each other. Oh, this does look awesome. You're selling me again. Eric.
This is a fresh game, man. This is them with all their brain power going at a fresh game. The Odin, it wasn't Odin Sphere, but whatever it was.
Yeah, Grimoire.
Yeah. That was one of their OG titles from like 100 years ago that they wanted to bring back. So they, remastered it and touched it up a bit and brought it to us. So
I know, I'm just saying. Well, we never got super hard into Dragon's Crown either. So come on.
But I enjoyed Dragon's Crown, but
I did
just
too.
never beat it. And then same with the other one, Miramasa or whatever that one was.
Yeah, the Demon Blade. Yep.
Played the hell out of that, never beat it, but liked it and liked the other one.
Fair.
And then Aegis, I loved. So I'm getting there. It's just it's like the From Software thing going,
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I've played you, didn't love you, kind of hated you actually. Played this one, wanted to love you. Then Elden Ring, I love this. This is great. I'm having that same experience here, okay? And I'm just going on a journey, and they just present, hey, we got a brand new game, and to boot, lucky for me, it's more in the style of typical RPG, tactical RPG kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, I've played a million of those. This sounds like it's going to be right up my alley, and I'm going to be very excited for it. So Unicorn Overlord, check that one out, because if you like the medieval fantasy stuff and, of course, what this team does, I think you might want to buy it. Who knows? We got time on it, though.
Well, what we don't have time for is more time left in the show, so we're busting on in till later in that day. The state of play, we got to start revving it up. So I'm going to bust through the two that Eric's not going to care about. The Avatar game got another trailer. Looks freaking amazing. It got me hyped to run around on a weird alien horse in that world. Spider-Man 2 got another big trailer. And I didn't need to see anything on that, because I played the first one, obviously played Miles Morales. All I needed to not hear was, hey, we totally ruined it. They didn't say that, and they showed off a ton of suits. The suit style, or whatever it was called, where you can have this suit, but it has like 4 different iterations of it, so you can have it looking all cool. Oh my God, I was drooling. And then the other thing that made me drool, I think, was right after that. They showed off some more Honkai Star Rail, which I'm not buzzing through this because I know you're interested in this too. That game looked so fucking sexy. Like, every single thing looked so good and so anime and so fresh and hot and awesome. Like, it's turn-based RPG combat. And it was like, whoosh, cut in, boom, pow, most beautiful character I've ever seen. Poof, best animation I've ever seen in my whole life. Incredible. It blew my socks off.
I'm in the same boat, dude. Got it written right here. Honkai Star Rail, October 10th, PlayStation. How can I not play?
Yeah.
How can I not play this? It looks so dang good. And yes, I know. It's got all sorts of gotcha stuff. And hey, if you spend a few bucks here, we're going to give you this cool gothic outfit and this little thing here. It's going to do this for you. And then, of course, if it's my favorite anime chick or whoever, and I didn't pay for the game. Why not give them $5 and get this thing so I can be cool and have this extra thing and then get these points to buy this or do that? I know what it is. But from every piece of research I've done and everyone I've talked to, you can play it without spending money, and there's still an awesome game attached here. It's gorgeous, as Matt said. Music's fantastic. Characters are crazy and insane and awesome. And it's finally coming to PlayStation, so we can get our trophies. We can get our own game world where we like to play and do it there. It's a win-win. I don't have time for this game, but I have to play this game, so I'm going to, because it's one of those, if I don't, it'll go away and I'll never play it. And I will not let that happen, by gods.
Absolutely. And another game I don't have much to say about, and then we'll talk about the big one, obviously. Helldivers 2. They showed off some more of that, and I went, hey, this looks like something you and I could actually play. Because we tried the first Helldivers, and it was too much. It was too Magicka.
Yes.
There was, call down the thing. Yeah, it's smashed on my head. Game over. This one actually looked like, kind of not like EDF in a silly way, but EDF in a serious way. And I went, I could reload Eric's recoilless rifle, as he just keeps saying, reload my recoilless. Anyway, no comment on that, but it looked good. And then obviously, I wrote down that the last game was also too sexy. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I wrote down, just in all caps, too sexy. The game looks awesome. Looks incredible. I haven't even played the first one. Wow.
Before we talk about that real quick, Ghost Runner 2 demo out right now, okay? I didn't play Ghost Runner 1. It's a game I wanted to play and always get to, never did. It slipped by, just like I just said. Always happens. Ghost Runner 2, however, is coming, and the demo's out for you to play. I will go play the demo for sure. At least do that. That doesn't take anything, but I feel bad about letting this one go by. It looks glorious. So if you're interested in it, you can go check it out right now. New Red for PlayStation. I'm so happy, Matt, because I have a red controller right now, but it's like that kind of like almost pinkish red. It's like a strange red, and it's fine. I love it. I bought it, but this is red. We're getting a dang red, an actual real red controller, and also the shell that you can buy as well for your PlayStation 5. And there's blue and another color. The red's all I care about, but an actual good, honest red. I'm excited.
And there's no other place for me to say this because we're just talking about controllers. I think I'm starting to turn into like a controller fiend because they released the Spider-Man 2 ones. And I'm like,
that looks awesome.
With the matte black and the like little shiny red over here. And then the plates for your PS5 also.
Yeah.
It's starting to get too good. The controllers are looking too good. I'm going to be like a sneaker guy, except I'm going to have them out and use them, but I'm going to have too many of them.
Yeah. I probably won't do that, but I appreciate it. If I had more money, I probably would do that. I would, but I'm poor, so I can't. Now, the other little snippet real quick is the Tales of Rise DLC, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
This hit, my jaw just dropped. I love Tales of Rise, but I thought it was over. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I put you to bed. Great memories. I love Shion. I love you guys. You're all fantastic. And Alphen, they're back. All of a sudden, here they are. A DLC, all new adventure. I went, this is out of the damn blue, out of nowhere. This was my definite, don't get me wrong, I love, the Final Fantasy and all that, but this was my get hype moment because I had no clue it was coming. No, this was something gone. And just, bam, alive. Here I am. Look at me. You get to enjoy me some more. You want to have a taste of this again? I went, hell yes, I do. Yes, okay. So all on board. In fact, you can already go pre-order it, and if you do pre-order it, you get cool new suits for Shion and Alphen. And I can't wait to get that because I'm going to look all super snazzy and sexy in my game while I'm playing. So, yes, those were the snippets from that. And, of course, Matt, yes, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Man, that game, it's crazy. That game looks insane. And then they're talking 2 discs. They're talking 100 hours, whereas the last one's only like 40. So you're getting twice the mileage out of this bad boy and looking like it does. I'm sold. Get me in there.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sold on it, and I haven't even played the first one yet. So I'm going to have to get the first one and then also get this. The only thing I'll specifically pull out of it, because everything looked cool. Everything looked great. Just everything. But there were a bunch of like team-up attacks, like jumping off of Barrett's gun and shooting this thing and the boom. I just went, oh, wow. I just want to do that all the time. Just team up with everybody and see whose team-up attacks can... Woo! Oh, looks too good.
And, of course, they were teasing Costa del Sol. They were teasing the Gold Saucer. They were teasing Chocobo mating. They had the gray one. You were climbing the mountain. So they let you know right then and there, yep, you will be mating all these Chocobos, trying to find your epic golden Chocobo and all that good stuff. Which makes me wonder, is it the same way you're going to get, not Ultima, Swords of, what is it called? What was the sword one?
Knights of the Round.
Lights of the Round. There it is.
I never even got it in my life.
Hey, I did, and it was great. But yeah, I'm just so excited. There was so much they showed. They showed all sorts of the mini games, as we talked about a little bit around the bonfire that night. So you're going to get to do your snowboard and all that stuff. They kind of went for the nostalgia here. I think they wanted to make sure everybody that's originally played this game back in the day knew that they were going to have all those moments here for you. And then they even talked about where they're going to end off this time around and where the adventure will stop. You just got to watch it. If you're excited for this, definitely check it out. In fact, you're going to see and hear a lot more about it because all the bigwigs and all the cool cats out there, they got to go to a preview and play several hours of the game already. So you're about to start hearing all sorts of stuff, good, bad, whatever, whatever streamer, YouTuber, whoever you watch, whatever their interpretation is, you're about to start hearing about it.
And now, we don't have much time left in the show, but I can't let it sit for a week because all the things you said about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, you could apply to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, because I watched the Ryuga Gotoku Like a Dragon Direct. I watched it today, and they talked about Like a Dragon Gaiden, which looks awesome, which is my kind of game. And I'm going to buy it anyway, no matter what they would show, just like Spider-Man. But they started showing, they showed a lot. They showed a lot of the story. They showed a lot of the mini games. They showed a lot of the side content. They showed a lot of the Easter eggs. They showed a lot of the everything of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And I sat here. I had it on my iPad. I sat here eating my Chinese food and just grinning and giggling like a schoolgirl at every single thing that they showed. And I went, this is home. This is home for me, this whole series. All the silly stuff, all the goofy stuff, all the crazy stuff. And I went, I felt my childhood self just came out. And it went, hey, look, this is it. It's just even more everything. Everything I've loved in this whole series, it's all there. Nancy's there. Everything. Kiryu, when you play as him, he's got like a beat-em-up style, even inside of the turn-based RPG. You got, obviously, I don't play Yakuza games in English, but you have Danny Trejo in there, and then you have Daniel Day Kim. You have Johnny f***ing Gat in a Yakuza game. It blew my f***ing mind. Amazing. Wonderful. And then everything else. It sounds stupid to be excited about it, but everybody loves Danny Trejo. And Johnny Gat in my favorite series. It's perfect. It's wonderful. And it comes out January 26th, right around the goddamn corner. I was so happy when I watched this. Just thinking back on it, I'm getting a smile on my face all over again. Because I want to be in it again with both hands just up to the elbows in Yakuza stuff. Yes.
I can't wait to watch some more on this because I didn't get the full taste of it. I was just doing some highlights and whatnot. So we'll probably carry over some of the Tokyo Game Show and crap for next week, just because it's not even over yet. We got the whole weekend of games and stuff. But I gotta bring up one thing, Matt, and this might be a game changer soon. Not this console war right now, but they've got Atlas. Xbox has Atlas now. They showcased today. They're like, hey, Atlas has come on board. All of our games are coming to Xbox day and date to Game Pass. If you've got Atlas, man. And then that wasn't it. They were like, hey, we've also been working real hard with Square. Talk to them. Hey, we love Xbox, and we're on board with Xbox now. We're going to go ahead and get Octopath Traveler 2 over there. We're going to go ahead, as you all know, FF14's coming now. It's just a matter of time. I feel like the money's finally transferred hands. Whatever needed to be done is done. I have a feeling they've got Square and Atlas with them now. If they can get Square and Atlas on Game Pass day and date, that's most of what I love and play anyway. And you just talked about it. They've got, Yakuza, Like a Dragon and all that. I love those. I'm swaying. I'm already like, man, if you offer this to me for Game Pass, that's it. I'll buy Game Pass. Just boom, here's my check for life. Let's just roll. So they might have it. They might have the magic. Who knows? I just wanted to state that it's crazy. If when you watch this, if you do, you'll see that all of a sudden Atlas and Square's on board. It's starting to shift, man.
It sounds so stupid to say it, but, Persona 5 Tactica was already coming to Game Pass, so I was going to get it day and date. But you know me, I'm a collector, I'm a weirdo, so I have to have it also.
I bought it already too.
Yeah, I'm starting to, now that they're getting all these awesome titles. Man, what if I just had a Series X also? Then I could have it and play it on that console instead of having one here, one there. This would be like my main hub for certain things like that. Mm-hmm. It sounds so stupid to get a console to double dip, but if I'm going to double dip, I want, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. And I'm getting that way with Starfield too, because if I got an X, it's going to look even better, and I can hook it up to this nice display and have it be even better, and then I can have it physically forever, and I'm sure that one would never leave the service, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I love it.
Yeah.
All games should be everywhere, so everybody has their pick, but it feels good to
see it moving.
Look, you can get things you want at both of the two big stations where you want to get them.
Yeah, and that's very exciting. That's very cool. And then I just it'll just be up to you. Do you want to just pay this one price a month to have stuff, or do you want to just pick and choose a la carte? Then you can go the other route, whichever way. And you can even do that with the other way with Xbox. You can buy a la carte too. But if you just want to go, hey, you know what, just take my money every month, and I have access to all the crap you bring, that's a really cool proposal. Will it stay at price? No, it's going to definitively go up if they keep acquiring huge studios like this to have their games come day and date. But if you play those games, you have to start wondering, where does the balance come? Am I getting the value of that from these games, or are you not?
And if you're playing Final Fantasy 16, for example, something like that for a month for only $20, that's way better than $70. And then, certain these games may come and go off of Game Pass, but by the time they go off of Game Pass, especially if they're day and date, you can probably pick them up for $20 or $30 or $40 on a sale.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for a collector person like me.
A lot of cool stuff happening. We'll see how it all pans out. But just seeing that at the Tokyo Game Show today really got my hopes and spirits up for a possibility of actually having an option next time there's a console thing going on and I got to pick and choose. Because this time it wasn't even an option. It was PlayStation for me. But I'm not only PlayStation. I'll go wherever the games I want to play are. So if the other one's got it, I'm going that way. I don't really care.
You say that as the guy who I always say, come play it for free. And you go, I got to have some trophies, though, dude. That's only on the PlayStation with some trophies.
Well, because right now it's my home. But you know what? If you're going to say, Eric, your home's over here on Xbox now, well, then to hell with it. All right. Oop, there we go. Off to Xbox we go. I don't care. I've told you, I've had all the consoles in the past. This is the first time I haven't, really, which is weird. But, it's just the way it is. You ain't got the money these days.
You say that as the man who's way richer than I am, but hey, what about you out there in podcast listener land? And I hear you out there. This is the exact voice you use. Hey guys, what about that other showcase? We'll get to it next week, or we won't.
Right.
But you know what one we're talking about. And if you want to give us your feedback on that showcase, or any of the other ones we've talked about, or any other TGS announcements that we've missed, send it to us via the email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftME. Find us on Facebook on Third Shift, the Discord, the Patreon. Find us on Twitch, even though I haven't been there forever. Send a carrier pigeon to my house. I'll definitely let the carrier pigeon in. You can't come in, but a bird with a note, come on in, bird. That's fine.
Well, while you're letting those birds in, Matt, I'm going to suggest everybody heading over to Patreon. Got a little tip jar heading over there. Got $1, $2, few bucks. Hey, consider throwing them our way. Helps keep the lights on, pay bills, get stuff so we can keep the show fresh and vagrant and vibrant and vigorant and all sorts of other words that aren't real for you, okay? Maybe even I'll watch a show that educates me. Maybe I'll become smart and actually have something to say. Who knows? That's up to you if you support us. If you don't, I'll keep saying whatever I want and you'll just have to deal with it. But if you don't want to do any of that, but you still say, hey, I want to support somebody over there, like maybe Matt, you can just throw a mailbag question in. He'd like that. He wants to hear about what you're saying. You know what? Go give us a 5-star rating on the iTunes. Go over to the Twitch. Give us that Prime sub. Go to Spotify. Give us the 5 stars over there. All those things are fun things you can do that are very simple to help us out and keep us rocking and rolling here on the internet, having a good old time.
And the simplest thing you can do is listen to the very next episode, which will be dropping on or around the 28th of September on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it.
Indeed we do. We appreciate it just like we appreciate that vibrant, beautiful, beautiful face that you show us every week when you're listening to that podcast. Yeah, maybe we can see you. I know who hasn't given us those 5-star reviews. I know. I've seen your faces through the waves, folks. Your vibrant, beautiful faces. So you might want to give us a 5-star review. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Maybe you'll end up you'll be on a Goldfish. You know what? You see them little smiling Goldfish people? Maybe that'll be you soon. Just saying.
I don't have any idea what he's talking about, but until next time, there's nothing else to say but. Don't forget to save.
Shut up and sit down.
I got a pack of Goldfish in front of me. And it's a guy, he's got sunglasses. He's just like, ugh. And I'm just like, yeah, you're going to be like this idiot Goldfish. That's what you're going to be.
Awesome.